Forsaken used to be one of the most unique and loved games on the Roblox platform, but in recent times, we have only seen the game and its community on a steady decline, making its community become extremely hated on Roblox. Hi, my name is Ducky. I post a documentary every 3 days, so make sure to subscribe with notifications to never miss an upload. I'm also hosting a 5,000 Robux giveaway every month in my Discord server, so join that in order to enter. If you somehow don't know what Forsaken is, let me quickly explain what it is. Forsaken is a Roblox horror game where the goal is for the 8 survivors to go up against a killer and try survive until the end. There is a lot more to the game than just that, like the many hidden Easter eggs, character references, and creepy lore, but that is just the basic premise of the game. It was founded and created by a person named Soul Driven Love, who you will come to find out later in the video became extremely controversial after becoming the owner of the game. The game would quickly blow up on the platform due to its uniqueness, lore, and multiplayer features. It would garner over 3 billion total visits in its history, with a peak player count of 1.1 million concurrent users on July 11th of 2025. However, the game would almost die just as quickly as it blew up. The game can still hold a steady 50 to 100,000 players at once today, but that is nothing compared to the numbers it was putting up in its prime. This fall off was due to a lot of different factors, the community getting a bad reputation, the owner getting exposed over and over again, with some fans even blaming it on the game getting repetitive and boring. I think to understand what are the main factors to its downfall, we have to learn how the Forsaken fandom even became so big, with many people making fan art for the game, making up their own creepypastas for each character, and some parts of the community even being extremely toxic. The Forsaken community, if we are all going to be honest, has only gotten worse and worse. Of course, I'm not talking about every single Forsaken player, but mostly the ones that no-life the game, from users over and shipping characters, making extremely weird fan arts, and even developers of the game being really toxic. This Reddit post would point it out perfectly, reading, "This isn't going to be about shippers or whatever or NSFW artists. This is about us as a fan base being too scared to critique the devs. Sure, we've critiqued stuff in the past, but there's never been a time where we have sat back and demanded actual change. Noli was in development for 9 months. I could make life in 9 months. This came with small balance changes, the worst theme in Roblox history, and a bunch of collabs. Dev-only stuff is still not in private servers, and we are going to sit back as a fan base and call people who complain ungrateful. The fearmongering in this community is worse than Fortnite. Genuinely, if this game doesn't add a new killer in the next 2 months, when they have 2 on the back burner, this game is going to fail to meet my low expectations. They have made millions of dollars off of Forsaken. The game could make them retire at the age of 30 if they lock in. But no, the devs want to act funny and perm ban people who complain, showing just how frustrated some Forsaken fans are with its developers, which will also make a lot more sense later in the video. I would also mention that there is a major problem within that community of people shipping and, like I said, characters of the game, which is not normal, and certainly not for a game on a children's platform. Like, brother, how hard is it to just enjoy a game on Roblox without all this weird ass community shit? Like, bro, Forsaken is such a good game, but now the community's reputation is just Jane Douna stands and people who only play the game to ship and characters. Maybe I'm over exaggerating it a little bit, but that's just what I see from the outside in. A YouTuber named Sharky Leo would also make a video on the community stating this.
Oh my god, dude. Never have I seen a game where there's more art about 2 characters making out and sucking each other off rather than interacting normally. Like, dude, I can't go 1 page on TikTok without getting any ship art or videos.
I sure love getting sexually harassed by the entire server while trying to enjoy Forsaken. Forsaken fans are actual cancer. Can't even wear purple/hot pink hair or even a little pinwheel hat without these freaks being a nuisance. Nothing like being mistaken for Jane Doe or Cool Kid and having a bunch of weirdos trying to rolest you. Yo, rolest might be the funniest word I've ever seen come out of Roblox. I'm definitely using that next time. Add that into a dictionary or something. And look guys, I understand that this is also just a Roblox issue, but communities like Forsaken and Dandy's World have taken it to that next level of freak, bro. But yeah, I think you guys can understand the assignment. Some Forsaken fans can be really weird. Another big factor that people criticized the Forsaken community for was the entire retro slop trend, which didn't start in Forsaken, however, somehow made its way into the community, with new gen and fake Roblox fans thinking that characters like Elliot and Cool Kid originated in Forsaken, when really they were just OG characters in the Roblox community. But this is where we point out probably the biggest reason to why Forsaken has fallen, and that is the owner, Soul Driven Love. Now, at first, they would be accused of some crazy ass things, from disturbing CSAM content, associating with some extremely bad people, to even doxing some people in the community. They were public enemy number one for quite a while, and at first, a lot of the community would pass it on as false allegations. However, that didn't last long at all, with Soul getting fully exposed shortly after and losing everything, including the ownership of Forsaken, or so we thought, but we will have to talk about that a bit later. The Jane Douna situation, which a lot of people took as a joke when I would first make a video on it, however, it would really point out just how weird some members of the Forsaken community can be, even to the point where this guy had a full-on obsession with Jane Doe, even making goon talks of the character. Let me just roll a clip from my old video for some context. Roblox Jane Douna situation is weird. Alright, so to begin today's video, we must first go over a TikToker named Squirtle Sage, a weird Roblox player who you will quickly learn has a deep and very dark obsession with Jane Doe, who, if you don't already know, is a character from the game Forsaken, arguably one of Roblox's biggest games at the moment. Like I said, this obsession went deep and left Squirtle Sage with the nickname the Jane Douna. I think another factor to its downfall would be the rise of these massive pay-to-win games, specifically the ones ran by Do Big Studios, like Steal a Brainrot or Grow a Garden, that over the last 6 to 12 months went from being almost non-existent to completely taking over the Roblox platform. This would kill many beloved games. Dead Rails and Blox Fruits are very good examples, but Forsaken is one of these games where they didn't adapt to this brainrot meta, and in return suffered a loss in player count. But I also want to know what you guys think of the game's downfall, and if you even consider the game dead, or if I'm just over-exaggerating everything and the game is completely fine. One commenter would read, "I've ran into at least 5 people in game where I would win and they would call me the most annoying person, get a job, touch grass, and overall be salty when I win. It feels impossible to go one game without people being upset. I only wish people the best in life, and to see them mad and start targeting me for just being upset is so mood ruining," showing that even the community is pushing away regular players due to its toxicity, with some comments clearly bothered by the whole shipping problem that some community members will do. But what I think is the biggest overall factor to Forsaken's downfall, or why so many people hate Forsaken, is the fact that Soul Driven Love, the person we talked about earlier who owned the game and then got exposed for being a weirdo and doxer, well, they are still making money on the game to this day, and it makes sense from a business standpoint. They founded the game, they were the one to sell it, but it has left a lot of people not wanting to play the game over the simple fact that Soul still makes money from the people playing it. The game is still healthy numbers wise, but my point still stands. The community declined incredibly fast since its release due to the many factors that we covered in today's video. I think the game will eventually die out just like any other game on Roblox, like The Hood or even Dead Rails in recent days, but it probably still has quite a long time until that happens. Before you click off, check out my Instagram, drop a follow if you can, make sure to subscribe and like the video, join the Discord for the giveaway and updates about the situation or my channel. But other than that, make sure to have a good day or night, and I will see you next upload.